I know what you're thinking probably. You're like, how can we have, where's the third brand in this branded content love triangle? I'll get into that in a minute. We want to talk to you about how to pull off a branded content Ménage, Trois here. And my name is Borden. I'm CEO and founder of Matador Network. And I'm thrilled to have Mollie Hansen, CMO of Airstream, with me. So I imagine that many of you are unfamiliar probably with Matador. So I tell you about our company really fast. We're a publisher in the travel and outdoor adventure lifestyle space, one of the biggest on the internet. So we publish articles, photo essays, and especially videos about travel and adventure every day on our website, across social, and everything that touches travel. So that's outdoor adventure, food and nightlife, music festivals, anything that sort of younger millennial and Gen Xer is interested in for travel. If you're still, scratching your head, okay, but what does that mean? If you want to see our homepage, it's a single site, matadornetwork.com. We're not a network of sites. The network in our name is actually our network of contributors that we've built over the last, since we've been founded. And it's really an amazing group of people, thousands of contributors all over the world. I'm really in here part because we started 7 years ago our own creative agency and production company, Matador Studios, which is now 40 people at the company, just focused on video. And then we have a distribution platform on social and on our website. So any of the content that we do for editorial or for our brand partners comes with built-in distribution, where we're doing about 100 million video views a month. And I find that either people haven't heard of us or they love us. So I actually love that. I used to sit down on airplanes and no one had heard of us. Now people are like, oh my God, you started Matador. I love that site. Your videos are amazing. So hopefully if you haven't heard of us, you'll become, in the other camp now and start following us on social and seeing our content. Another couple fun facts about the company. We're super weird for a media company. I founded the company in 2006 with my life savings of a whopping $11,000 at the time. And now we're 60 people. We have offices in LA and our HQ is in Sausalito, California, just on the other side of the Golden Gate Bridge. If you guys are ever in Sausalito or find yourselves there, please come by and I'll take you to lunch. And we punch way above our weight. We work with awesome brands, global brands. The quality of our video and our team is just incredible. So, we love comparing our video to anything of a massive media company. The reach the content gets always impresses our partners. And the rights. This is a big deal and something that we've been sort of like screaming from the rooftops for a long time. You guys are funding these programs, and it should be, your content. So if someone's limiting your rights, I think that's kind of bullshit. The rights that will come with our programs is rights in perpetuity for digital. Because you guys should be able to squeeze every drop of juice you want to on your owned and operated channels for all the content that you're helping fund and create. And then we've never took any VC, and we're profitable. And if you read the news, you'll probably know that there's a whole bunch of really big media companies out there that are nowhere near profitable, even though they've raised many hundreds of millions of dollars. So we're pretty proud of that. And we've been able to do that because we have a lot of awesome partners. Our first foothold was in the DMO industry. DMO stands for Destination Marketing Organization, or a fancy word for a tourism board. So we work with a lot of small towns, a lot of big cities, a lot of U.S. states, and of course national tourism boards like Destination Canada, Brand USA, Visit Britain, Scotland, Ireland, Visit Mexico. So over 200 tourism boards. And then we started working with other awesome brands, both travel endemic and non-travel endemic. And so we've sort of like grown on revenue and have all these amazing partners, really because we were early on two big things in the last 6 or 7 years. First, we realized how important video is going to become. So we started our little production company with 2 people. It's now 40 people at Matador Studios, and we do 2 things there. We create Matador Originals. So we have like sort of long form and short form mini documentaries, and we also have talent-driven episodic shows. And then of course, with many of you folks, we work on branded content projects that are really dialed and exciting. Branded video series where we're integrating brands, we're using influencers, and that was kind of the other thing that we realized and did very organically 7 years ago. We started our Matador ambassador team with basically 9 of our friends who are professional athletes or amazing photographers like Chris Burkhardt. And we started, building that team. That's now over 400 people. And not only in the US, but in Canada, UK, and Korea, Brazil, Mexico. So we do videos for Visit California in Mandarin Chinese. We do all of Visit Las Vegas's international influencer programs, as well as Brand USA. So we really care and built an audience and clusters of influencers abroad as well. So what are we going to be early on next? Well, hopefully a couple things. We have a lot of really exciting stuff we're working on this year. One of them is brand partnerships and sort of 3-way brand partnerships. So that's what I wanted to talk to you guys about today and why I wanted to bring Mollie on. We've already in 2018 started putting these together, and we're very well positioned to do this because of the tourism boards that we work with. And a lot of times we can draw really awesome parallels between our tourism board partners and our brand partners. So we've already put together deals last year with Go RVing, shooting all the videos in Wyoming. GoPro, we decided to go to Destination Canada and shoot the videos for GoPro in Canada. Greyhound, we were working with Explore Asheville and some other CVBs that they leave and go to. And then Airstream and Travel Nevada. So this is one, and I chose this subject because this actually got hatched exactly 1 year ago at Brand Storytelling 2018 when I spoke to Chris, who's on Mollie's team. And we're sitting on the bus and we're like, man, we got to do something together. And he's like, I love your brand, but man, we don't do like 300, 600K programs on content. And I was like, all right, whatever. We'll figure out some way to work together. And 6 months later, I'm talking to our partners, Travel Nevada, and we've had sort of like an always-on partnership with Nevada, creating content, video programs, influencer programs. And they're like, all right, Ross, 2019 is all about road trips for us. And we love what you're doing with the brand partnerships. We've seen that stuff. So I just want to run this by you. The brand that we would really love to work with, it's like so Nevada, it's so us, it's such a perfect fit, Airstream. And I was like, let me make a phone call. So I called Chris, and 2 weeks later, we were off and running with an awesome national video and influencer program where we did 4 trips through Nevada, all powered by Airstream, because we had a different Airstream trailer in each of the videos and on each of the trips. And there's 12 total video assets. There's 4 long-form videos for each trip and then a bunch of cut-downs. So I'll share a cut-down with you right now. And this is actually launching right now, so I'm really excited for the program. So we can watch the video now.
Do you continue your promise of driving up new roads in search of adventure together?
I do.
I do.
By the state of Nevada and the power vested in me, you may now kiss your beautiful bride.
Have a happy honeymoon and don't forget to love each other tender.
Faith in love, for it is the fuel to finding new routes to each other's hearts.
So I wanted to give you a little brand's kind of perspective on how we look at partnerships and why this made sense to us. So Airstream is going on 90 years old. We've been around in the travel industry for that long, kind of setting examples for how people can experience the world. And our founder, Wally Byam, who's up there, he was creating content long before, we were thinking about how to get it out to the masses. He was taking trips with his wealthy friends and going around the world in the 50s. He was going to places where there were no roads, and that he was having to take his trailers on barges, and he knew that the power was going to be in taking the right people along to tell the story. So he invited National Geographic along, he invited professional photographers along, and they documented his stories, and they were able to bring that back. He created an entire industry with this content. And if you think about today, Airstream, we're centered in the middle of a cornfield, literally, in Ohio. We've got a really big brand. I feel honored to take care of this brand every day, but it's a very small company. We have about 1,000 employees now. And for perspective, the industry will probably make around 500,000 RVs. We, in our best year, would make around 5,000. So we're a very small but very important part of the industry. We are one of the only brands in it, and we have a really strong voice, not only because we're the oldest, but also because of the respect that we get in the industry and the fact that people understand and know our brand. So when I came here, when I came to Airstream, I had worked for companies with really large budgets, and I'd paid for a lot of stuff. I got to the middle of a cornfield in Ohio and said, this is an amazing brand, but I'm going to have to leverage my relationships, my personal relationships with people and the people that I knew in other brands to really help me tell the story that a lot of you may know the brand, but there's a lot of people who didn't know we were still in business. So this idea of getting the word out that we're still in business. So I started getting approached, and the more I talked to people, I started getting approached about these partnerships, and I was realizing that I was getting approached in some cases about licensing. They were calling it a partnership. They were asking for a percentage. They wanted to use my IP, and it really didn't feel like a partnership to me. So I distinctly draw a line in the sand for how we communicate about there's licenses and there's partnerships. And for me, partnerships are all about that authenticity. I was talking to people that I knew early on, and then brands started coming to me. And the first thing I asked myself is, will our community and the people who love this brand understand why we're coming together? And in this particular partnership, it made perfect sense, because what do you do with an Airstream? You travel. And I'm sure there's plenty of people who travel one end of Nevada to the other, and all the other tourism boards. And so using us as an enabler to tell that story was a great opportunity to create this partnership. One thing I also want to say is it's not always about the money. And I know that's hard for many of you who are running agencies. But from a little brand's perspective, I'm in it to get beautiful content. I'm in it to expose my audience to new things. I hope that my partners want the same thing. And sure, I want to sell more trailers at the end of the day. I'm hoping that is the outcome. But it's not my motivation going into it, because I think it clouds my judgment in terms of what I want out of the partnership and if it's really authentic. So I start there. So partnership, what we're talking about here today with Matador, that's a partnership to me. It made sense. They had beautiful content. It opened up our audience to new things. What it's not is a licensee. I did a great license. Don't get me wrong. I love American Girl. American Girl calls and says, hey, can I make a trailer? Well, sure. It was an easy decision. But that's a licensing agreement, and I think, just for the sake of how you guys talk to maybe little brands like me, is separating those two and not calling them partnerships. It makes it a lot easier conversation, because those are financial decisions, and those go sometimes to different people. So I'm running out of time. I'm going really quick. Anyway, all about relationships, like we said. And build an ecosystem. Build an ecosystem that makes sense. So if you partner with one person and they bring somebody else, make sure that everybody in that chain creates something that makes sense for your brand. So.
Cool. We have
zero.
0 seconds for questions. Find us later.